Hey friend, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast for women who want to learn how to live an intentional life or build their creative business. I'll be giving you my very best business tips, bringing you interesting guests, giving you a daily dose of Jesus, and I'm committed to always keeping it real. Grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in. I'm so honored that you're here. Hi guys, welcome back. So the Monday morning episodes are just really short podcasts to get you fired up about business and the Lord and mixing faith in your business this week. And so this week we are talking about worship as warfare. And here is the concept that I just want to inspire you with this morning. And it's going to be brief and brilliant, but I want to just talk to you about worship a little bit. And worship means, yes, on, Sunday morning at church. It also means just in your car sometimes when you are, driving to someplace. It could mean singing out loud if you want to in the shower. I mean, you do you, right? But the thing that I really want to nail home is just the fact that the Lord loves worship and the enemy of our souls absolutely hates it. And worship changes things. Worship changes an atmosphere in a home. In our old house, we had this radio. In fact, the Lord just brought this to my mind. Thank you, Jesus. Now I'm going to have to go find a stinking radio. Okay, so we had this undermount kitchen counter radio that was in our kitchen, and it was on a Christian radio station here in Kansas City for, I would say, probably the last 5 or 6 years. We never turned it off. It would maybe be down to a volume level of 1, but the family knew you don't touch the radio. Worship is always going. In this house, we don't have that. I'm going to have to text Mr. Magic as soon as we get off here and be like, yo, we need to get that back going. Because when you have worship, oh, you know what? Whoa. Un momento, s'il vous plaît. The Lord also just reminded me, wow, this is going on a rabbit trail. Here we go. All right. When we got the little peanut, little Ariana, who came to live with us 8 months ago, we put a radio in her room and put on worship day 2 that she was here. She has not been without worship. And what's interesting is we can't turn it off. She wouldn't let us even if we wanted to. The radio is right behind her head where she sleeps. And it was really important for me that she had worship singing over her literally while she slept every night, but she won't let us turn off even during the day. So we have had worship going for the last 8 months. So there's that. But listen, worship, the bottom line is worship changes an atmosphere. It changes things. It changes things in you. It changes things in your life. It changes things for the people around you. Worship is warfare. It is warfare. So if you are in this place where you've got crap going on in your business or crap going on in your life, you turn on some worship music and it changes things. And let me tell you why it changes things. Worship should be all about Him. It's literally all about the Lord. It's all about Jesus. That's what worship is about. And so when you are 100% focused on Jesus, it takes the focus off of yourself. So it takes our eyes off of our own circumstances and instead helps us to focus on the one from whom everything comes. And so it helps us to be more grateful. And by the way, it's really hard to be grateful and grumble. You know what I mean? So can you be in a hard place and still worship and be grateful? 100%. Can you also look all around you and see people in harder places? 100% of the time. So worship will make you super grateful. It will change your perspective. It puts your perspective on an eternal things. It gives you perspective from an eternal lens versus just focusing on you and your current issues. I mean, I know for me, sometimes I will get in the weeds about all the things that needs done, right? I'm looking at my to-do list and OMG, I have got a list a mile long of things that need to be done. And sometimes my tendency is to want to start grumbling about that. And I have found that if I will get myself into a worship position, if I will just turn on some music and have some praise, man, my priorities will begin to line up. And I look at things in a different perspective. So if you're needing a perspective shift today, if you are needing, a life shift, if you are needing your circumstances to change, let me tell you something. I want you to turn on some good worship music today and to turn off the TV. Okay, turn off the business podcast. Yes, I'm tempted sometimes to listen to strategy. You don't need to listen to strategy. You need to really get in a position of worship. I know at our Equipped Women's Conference in May, we had so many people ask us for the playlist of the music that our worship team, because, oh, by the way, yes, we started a business conference with worship and we ended it with an altar call. So there's that. A little different than any business conference you've been to. But the playlist was the bomb. Let me just tell you, our worship team is insanely talented. So if you want, you can go to jenniferallwood.com/playlist to get the list of songs that were played at the conference. You can also right there, like sign up if you want to know about when we're going to have the conference next year, as soon as we have those details. But listen, the playlist was magical, and having that stuff going in the background, or having it, turned on instead of other things that maybe you'd prefer to be listening to, or starting your day with worship, it all matters, my friends. It all matters. So I encourage you to turn off everything else today and turn off something that will put you in God's presence. Worship him. It will put asking for things for your business. It'll become such a lesser priority for you. But put on some worship music, get your priorities in order. And until next week, be blessed. Bye-bye. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. I'm so honored that you're here and that you just listen week in and week out, and that you share the Jennifer Allwood Show with your friends and family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or if you're an Android user, go download the Stitcher app and you can subscribe there so that you know every single week when a new episode releases. Also, if you have any time to leave us a review, these reviews are super important in getting guests for the show and sponsors for the show. And so we'd appreciate it if you have just a second to leave us a review. That would be amazing. Thank you guys again for being here. And until next week, stay creative.